What is going on, guys? My name is Landon Deaton, and today we are going to be taking a tour through the Smithsonian National Air and Space Museum. So, today I really just want to tell you guys about the museum, and I want to show you three cool exhibits that explain how flying started and got way better over time. The Air and Space Museum shows how flight went from a simple wooden plane to space and walking on the moon. So, really, have you ever wondered how it got there? How we went from a tiny wooden plane to walking on the moon? Have you ever thought about that? And how quick we did it too? Well, today I'm going to take you through a virtual tour of the Smithsonian National Air and Space Museum. So even if you haven't been there before and if you don't know anything about it, I am just telling you from researching it now. I haven't been there, but from researching it and talking about it, it's made me so interested in it, and I would love to go there one day. And hopefully, that sparks a little desire in you to go research about it. It's a pretty cool place. And so, talking about those exhibits that I picked three really awesome exhibits, and I would love to share them with you guys. So, the first one, I picked the Wright Brothers Flyer. The second one is the Apollo 11. And the last one that we are going to talk about today is the Space Shuttle Discovery. All right, so let's start with the first airplane that ever flew, the Wright Brothers Flyer. This plane flew only 12 seconds in 1903, so it was very successful with being able to fly, but it really only flew 12 seconds. But it was the first ever powered flight. So that was the staple of flight in the start. It was made out of wood and cloth and super simple compared to today's planes. Because today's planes, you got I don't even know, a bunch of stuff on it, it's very advanced. Back then it was wood and cloth. Bro, how did we get from there? So really, this was the start of flight. This was the start of everything in flight. So it begins with space, that begins with fighter jets that fight for us, And that information, I really got most of that from the Smithsonian National Air and Space Museum website. And honestly, guys, I want to go there myself. I want to check out that plane, because out of wood and cloth and it flew. Man, that's crazy. So next, let's jump forward in time, go on that time machine. We're going to 1969 and check out the spaceship that took people to the moon. This is the Apollo 11. This spaceship took astronauts Neil Armstrong and his team to the moon. It orbited the moon while Armstrong and Aldrin, the other person on the the spaceship, walked on the moon, on the surface. You can still see burn marks from when it came back through the atmosphere. You can see the burn marks on it. And I think that's super cool, because that kind of shows evidence of that we've been, and we've actually not just made up dumb facts about it. We see burn marks that are on it. I also got that from the Smithsonian National Air and Space websites. So this is really proof that we actually landed on the moon, and that's a huge deal. Bro, we landed on the moon. We went to space. You look at the stars and you're like, oh, shoot, we were on the moon. That's pretty crazy. So now let's look at a more recent spacecraft, the Space Shuttle Discovery. This one might be my favorite because it's low-key a little underrated. I'm not going to lie. Discovery flew 39 missions. I am not even joking with y'all. 39 missions between 1984 and 2011. It was a reusable shuttle that helped build the International Space Station. This shuttle shows how space travel became more regular and more. We did it 39 times, so it's got to be a little more regular than just one time to the moon. So I also got that from the Smithsonian Air and Space Museum website. And really, I just want to, basically the whole purpose of why I'm talking to you guys today is I mean, we saw the Wright brothers flyer, we saw the Apollo 11, we saw the Space Shuttle Discovery, and I really hope that that makes you want to learn more about it. I hope that sparks a desire to learn more about flight and the history of flight, because it's going to shape our future and it's going to shape how we live. To close today, I really just want to say we went from a tiny wooden plane made out of wooden cloth to going and flying in space shuttles. The story of flight is crazy, and it all starts at this museum, really. And I honestly want to go there one day because I think it's super duper cool. And I hope that you guys learned something today.